Well, today I've got a 2-speed trans build for you for my Traxxas to the Maxx series here. The purpose of this build is to build a Traxxas Emax with the best of the best that I could get straight from, or with the Traxxas brand name only. I'm not trying to use, multiple brands. I want this build to be all just straight off what you could have built, or what Traxxas could have built and sold if they would have used the best of the best that they sell. So the first problem is, again, this is for the 3906 transmission that I'm building a 2-speed. This is the old style, or this is the factory style, and these are both hollow roll pins, so they're prone to shear. And then it has the hex style slipper clutch assembly, which is the old style, which does not have very good clamping force. So what I have done is knock out the roll pin, remove the first gear from one of these, purchase a brushless slipper shaft, shorten it to the correct length, drill it, mount the first gear off of one of these, and use piano wire to, instead of a roll pin, so now it's a solid wire in there, and it's cut to length. It's been hammered to make sure it's flared inside and is full girth, and then pinged on the outside to guarantee that it cannot come out. It is also put on with Loctite, the green retaining compound Loctite, as well as the gear. So this gear does not move any which way. It should not ever come loose. The only way to get it loose would be to heat the whole thing up to get the Loctite to re-liquefy, and then you'd have to hammer the piano wire out, and with it being pinged and Loctited in there, it would be quite a hassle. So that was my intention, is to make it so that it's really difficult and unlikely for it to come apart. So go ahead with the build. Typical Traxxas Emax 3906 trans housing. Couple of the other modifications that have to be made. Instead of running the plastic gears that run, because you got this runs at the top, then you've got paraplastic gears in the stock trans that run off of this. So these are from the brushless trans, and I have gone ahead and modified both of these for you. So I'll pop my bearings in, pull the shafts out of here. This is the Traxxas lightweight aluminum shafts that are Teflon hard anodized, or Teflon coated to harden them. If I can get it out. There you go. Okay, so that's the bottom shaft. And there is someone from New York that is selling a knockoff of these. The one thing I will mention is that how you can distinguish that they're a knockoff is this portion of it, which is what rides in here. Now again, really quick side note, this has been shaved on both sides to fit, otherwise these larger gears will not work. Get another bearing in here. Oops. The knockoff brand, where the bearing rides, does not have the same smooth finish throughout. It's almost like this center section is junky from the, I'm guessing that they were cast and it looks like there's slag on it. Anyway, I don't use crap parts, so I was going to use those for just the builds where I build and sell just the transmissions, but as soon as I got them and saw that they were knockoffs, I sent them back for a refund. If I don't like it, I won't sell it. So I'll pop this in here. I won't push it on somebody else, I guess is the way to word it. Drop this in here. Another shaft. Make sure I got the right one, because these are different sizes now. No, I don't. This is the one I want in here. Sorry, I think out loud. This is going to go this way. Pop this on here. And the way it's machined, if I put it on wrong, I'll know because it won't line up right. There we go. So that's that portion. Set that aside. Next are these. Pop bearings in both of these. Okay. These have a shoulder. The shoulder goes towards the outer housing. Because if it goes towards the inner housing, it's going to keep it away from this, which is your gear selector. Nice tight fit. And that's how it selects between first gear and second gear, because these are always running. Those are always rotating. The only thing it's selecting is whether it's going through this gear or that gear. Then these go on the shaft. Space between the bearing that's in here and the bearing that's in the housing. Okay, so that's next. This goes in here. Oh, it's weird. I don't really keep hair very long. My hair's like this long. Somehow I ended up with a hair in here. Anyway, okay, so that's going to go like that. This screws in as the guide. So let me go grab a screwdriver and glue, and I'll be right back. Let me pause it. Okay, now that's tight. And I meant to say grease, not glue. The only thing I ever worry about greasing are the two middle gears. If you put too much grease in here, you're going to have to fight riding those gears rolling through it. Think of running in sand. The more grease you put in, it's like deeper sand. So again, you want it greased so that there's lubrication. You don't want it greased so that it's got to actually chug through the grease. Let's tighten my pants. Okay, so that's that. Don't fall out. Oh, that's backwards. And when the servo moves, it moves it back and forth between first and second gear. Make sure I got all my washers in there, sorry. Alright, I'm gonna cheat. What I'm fighting is this bearing in the housing, so I'll take it out and put it on first. There we go. This back in there. what's left is to screw it together and go on about your business. And then the other upgrades I've got for this is the thicker blue aluminum plate, and then this is aluminum pads, so they're heavy duty. Let's see if I can get this to read. That's my local hobby shop, and you can see the worst part about that is it's 40 minutes away, so in my pick 'em up truck, that's not very cheap each way to go out and pick up parts. So if I'm going out there to pick up parts, I try to make it worth my while. So yeah, so then all that's left is to choose my spur gear, and the size of my spur gear is going to be dictated by what motors I run. So I'm going to stop there. You get the idea. Next time you see it, it'll be fully assembled, and I'll be putting it in the truck. Alright, thanks for watching. If you've got questions or comments, leave them below. Otherwise, like, subscribe. Have a nice day.